Hi, my name's Anthony Waring. I'm one of the naturalists at the Sheldrake Environmental Center. Today what we're going to be discussing is adopting a tree, part of our spring walks. Adopting a tree is simply going to a tree and observing it. So you want to find a tree that you're going to be seeing frequently, perhaps something that's in your yard, your neighborhood, or maybe even a tree that you pass every day when you're walking your dog. So I have chosen a tree that's in the woods, and this is my tree that I'm going to adopt. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to be observing this tree over time and seeing how it changes. Why don't we come up and we'll look a little bit closer at the tree. Look at the bark. Is the bark smooth? What color is it? It's kind of grayish, silver, maybe even some greens. We got like little scars on it, look like little teeth. We got somebody's been carving in it. That's not good. That might make our tree sick. We're going to look up. We want to see the leaves. Are the leaves coming in? Those leaves are actually last year's leaves and they're going to fall out soon. So this is the leaf bud for this particular tree. And inside, it's actually been growing all winter. Oh, look, there's a little guy on there, little bug on there. He's going to look at the bud too. So he's actually part of your tree too. We'll talk about that in a second. But inside this leaf bud, this is all the flowers and the leaves for the upcoming year. So they've been growing all winter. When the weather gets just right, that bud is going to open and these leaves are going to fall out. So part of the tree also, they're hard to see on this limb. We have bud scars. And that's when these leaf buds fall off. They leave scars on the tree. You can see it resting on top of my fingernail. And this will help us identify the tree as well. Part of adopting the tree is we're also going to see what the animals and the birds that are living in it. Right now, it's early spring. And if we look up into our tree, big tree here, we don't see a lot of leaves. We see the pointy tips, and those are the buds. But as we come by every couple days, maybe even every week, we begin to see birds frequenting the tree, maybe even see squirrels up there. These are part of your tree too, because they're going to rely on your tree. So when you adopt the tree, you're not just adopting the tree, you're adopting the animals that are living around it and inside its footprint. Part of the footprint is if I'm standing with my back against the trunk of the tree, I'm going to look up and I'm going to find a branch. There's not a lot of branches on this side. So I'm going to come over here, up, and I find a branch. So I'm going to follow the branch out to the end of it. Where's the end of my branch out here? Oh, but it's about right here. So everything on the ground from where I am to the trunk of this tree is part of the footprint of my tree. So I'm looking also for insects, spring ephemerals, those are flowers that grow in the woods, and maybe even a chipmunk hole or two. So I'm walking along and I'm finding if there's anything. Unfortunately, my tree's in the middle of a trail, lots of roots, but if we come in, we can see a spring ephemeral. This is a beginning of a woodland flower, and it's beginning to grow now, but it's very short-lived. And why do you think that is? What do the plants need to grow? They need soil, which we have under our feet. They need water. We just had rain last night. And they need sunlight. So if we look up again, we don't have any leaves. So the forest floor is gaining sunlight. Once these leaves come in, these flowers are going to disappear. The other thing interesting about these flowers is that they are spread by ants. Ants like to collect their seeds and take them into their tunnels underground. So what happens if you put a seed underground and put water on it? It's going to sprout. The other thing is, behind there, this could very well be a chipmunk hole. So part of my tree already, I don't have a lot of leaves. I have buds. I have maybe a chipmunk hole. and I might have some flowers. So that's a good beginning. Then I'll come back out in a couple days. We'll see if these flowers have sprouted. These flowers are going to be yellow, drooping lilies, tiny little lilies. But next we want to guess, what kind of tree do we have? Ooh, that nice cold tree. What kind of tree do we have? You can go online, you can look at the bark, get a picture of the leaves, get a picture of the buds, and that'll help you identify your tree. Maybe you want to try to guess, how old is your tree? Well, I'm going to show you a real easy trick real soon. We discussed the easy way to adopt a tree. You can just come out here and every day, every other day, come out and look at the tree, look what's going on around it, underneath it, and observe the changes. You might also want to go the next step. We're going to keep a journal. And this is, you can help write down the things that you're going to see. You can write down the date, the weather, the temperature. One of the things we're going to do now is we're going to try to guess how old the tree is. An easy way to do that is with a tape measure. About 3 feet off the ground, you're going to measure the circumference of the tree, or around the tree. So this tree is approximately 30 years old. Doesn't look like a very big tree, but he's 30 years old, or she, or it. Next, we want to figure out maybe how tall do we think our tree is? And this is when we're going to have to come in with some weird math. All right, for this part, you're going to need an assistant. One person is going to be the measuring device. So instead of using a ruler, or a yardstick, or a tape measure, you're going to be using an individual. Then your other person is going to be standing back and looking at that individual. So for an example, I might stand next to this tree. How many Anthony's tall is this tree? So my assistant, my camera person, is going to hold out her fist in front of herself so it is about the same size as me. Stop. You're going to walk off the trail.
Okay.
Take a step to your right. Another step to your right. Another step to your right. Okay, back up.
Okay.
So how many... Now stack your fists until you get all the way to the top of the tree. 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, 6.
6 Anthony's tall. Now how tall is Anthony? We measured before, and Anthony is 70 inches tall. So 70 times 6 is going to give us the height of our tree. After doing a little bit of hard math, we figured out that this tree is about 30.5 feet tall. So one of the things I also like to do is I like to draw my tree. Drawing helps me remember. And I do like little stick figure trees. And then every time I do my stick figure, I can come back out here and I can fill in the leaves. I can fill in... Oh, I forgot to put my hole here and my flowers on the bottom. So you might want to keep a journal, but remember, it's your journal. You can keep it however you want. You can do drawings, you could do descriptions, you could even do photographs. Somebody was telling me what they used to do is they would come out every time and take a photograph. And then at the end of 2 months, they would cut out the photographs, put them all together, and they could make a flip book, and they could actually watch the tree grow that way. Again, it's up to you. This is just something for you to do, adopting a tree in the springtime. Hope to see you out here and enjoy your tree. Thank you.